What is up? Good morning. It's January. Oh, it was a day off. January 28th, 7:51. So, I'm going to erase everything on the screen here, and I'm going to flip over to this right screen of mine. We'll go in. We're going to mark the yesterday's high, yesterday's low. Then I'm going to drop down to the 15-minute, and I'm going to identify the trend that we're in, which it looks like we're obviously in an uptrend here. But mainly what I'm looking for is I'm looking for something that will show me where we're coming from and where we're possibly going to as far as price action. And still we're still running from Friday's hit here. This retrace right there, we've never came back to it. We've never, you know, did a retest to it. Um, and so far as we're in here, we've had nice no full retrace here, no full retrace here, and we are finally getting a retrace down to this section, and it picked back up. So this is going to be a pretty strong level this morning, and if we get a snap through that, our run high here might be over. But we're not just going to assume that. So now I'm going to scroll over to the left and see what we're hitting. So far, we've broken all of these previous highs here. We're still inside the 25, this area, but we're coming right up to the top of it. So now these areas in this section, these fair value gaps and pinch points are going to be a pretty big deal. We could obviously blow right through them. One of the ones that I like here is that because it's standalone, it's defined. But this does mean that there was a lot of sellers pushing down through this area. So with that, um, these are our far out possibilities of where price can go. And so I'm going to watch this entire area. I'm going to drop down to the 5-minute real quick and see if we can maybe get over here to take a look. Yeah, no, it's too far. So we have that marked and that's sitting up way up here. So if this area gets broken, If this area gets broken, I'm looking to possibly take it up to this. So if this top gets broken here, I'm going to be looking to take this in this, section. But where we're hitting right now is exactly a little bit higher is where we saw that congestion as far as the fair value gaps, the big drop offs and whatnot on the 15 minutes. So let's see if there's anything closer. So right now we have a fair value gap that is produced on the 15. I'm going to mark that out. And there was another high section here, and I'm just going to mark this out to have an understanding when I go over to my chart. The 1 minute also has it, so I'll probably adjust to my one because that's what I'm going to be mainly focusing on. But I do switch back over to this 15-minute as well. And I will continue to watch that, as price develops. So now let's go back over here. I'm going to swap this back to my 15. So we have this here and this that we're playing off of. Now, again, we're waiting for, like I said in my previous video, we're waiting for that 1 o'clock or sorry, that 8 o'clock drop, and we got it yesterday. The drop sometimes will be a continuation; it'll just keep going. Yesterday, we had a drop, and it picked up on like the top 25 of of the previous move, and then it started to go higher again. So it wasn't in trading range for me or anything like that. But it did take a nice, 20 point or whatever drop. So we are looking for that. So let's see what we have. I'm gonna do what I said and move these to these sections here. Do that there, and we'll do that. And now, so we have our kind of longer play here. Uh, delete this. It looks like this came down and it hit the 25 and it took a bounce straight off the 25 of this previous leg here, right? We've had no retrace back to this section. So if I was to take a short, I'd actually, sounds a little bit wild, but I would actually be trying to take it at least to yesterday's daily low. Now, me holding that at this stage with only one contract is it's very hard because I can be up 1,000 or 1,500, and I can't take anything off because I'm using one contract. And then I can go stop break even and get stopped out after being up that much money, and that really that irritates me. So I try to manage the trades the best that I can with one contract. I will be obviously boosting it. Oh, that's good. Boosting it, when I'm, I don't know, I guess more consistent. I guess I don't know. I don't know. Not necessarily when I feel comfortable. I don't really believe in that. This whole journey's been uncomfortable. So, just basically, I guess when I start to get risk factors that are more in my favor. Like yesterday, I think I could have done one because I was risking about 140, so I could have risked 280 on that with the second contract, and the trade went. So, um, would have been good. But getting to that point is, or at least for me, more difficult to actually do than say. So we came up. It looks like we're hitting. So we understand that we're hitting this point down here. This is the 25 um, for my strategy, and we understand that we're hitting the 25 as well for for the top. So we're kind of ping ponging back and forth. So what we're looking for is we're going to be watching our volume levels. Like this coming down right now is a huge result, but the effort as of now is not that great. I would expect this volume to be much bigger. I don't like that. Why are you on there? Get that off. And so because of that, this can actually take a bounce off of the 50 here and we can move up. Now, normally if I was watching, the price action for a while, I would be able to determine if I want to take this trade up. We have we have a higher low here, and this could be the second higher low, but we have a lower high, so we haven't broke top, which is why I would use this, and I wouldn't use the 50 of this because we haven't broke top. If this trade came up here and it broke this section and it held up here, then I would be able to use this leg's move back up if I thought we were going higher. But it hasn't done that. So now we're just basically until one of these sides breaks, I would consider that we're in a consolidation for now. We're just bouncing between this low, that high. So we're going to wait to see if this low here can catch this back up. If it does, then we'll continue in consolidation and we'll see if this high can knock this back down. So that will ping pong us back and forth. Um, the next thing, I'm gonna zoom out to my 5. We're hitting that just nice and perfect there. And I'll go to the 15 on this chart. Yeah, perfect 25 hit. So I'm gonna run a trend line all the way from down here. Just like that. All right, so we are dropping down a little bit lower. We've broken the 50% there. That's awesome. And then I'm also going to run this one this way. I have no idea what direction we're going today. To the left, like I said, there's a bunch of fair value gaps way left, previous price action. It's 802. We had this starting off at 957, which is 7:57 my time, and there's the drop. Here's your This is your 8 o'clock drop here. And so now we wait. This drop hasn't continued. It's coming in to set a lower or a higher low, sorry. You'll hear me say that a lot. Get it mixed up. I know what I'm thinking, but I say it wrong. So we got a nice little leg through there. You see that this is what I was talking about though. Look at this volume in this section. I would expect this volume bar. Look at this. Let's find a bigger volume bar. Look how small this bar is compared to this bar, and look how big this volume is compared to this volume. And that's exactly what I'm saying by it. The volume that was coming down, it wasn't satisfying for a short. Not yet, right? It wasn't. I don't trust this yet because this does not make any sense. Now, can it just volume pick up and just completely dump? Absolutely. But I'd much rather see that matched with our effort here. I want to see the result, the actual result of the candle closing with the effort of high volume as well. And we didn't get that yet. So this to me um, would be going back up. And you see this volume here, still kind of, the result is not, I would like this candle of close, the entire candle close like that, leaving this wick. And then you're more convinced. So both sides right now are very unconvincing on longs or shorts. So I'm just kind of waiting it out. We had a uh, change of character here, a change of character here. Both times these change of characters have failed. But this change of character here was retested into, failed down. Change of character retested into, failed down. So if like just looking at this right now, sellers are winning this little debacle. But there's currently no trade. So we sit, we wait for something to happen. Yesterday, the 8 o'clock drop happened at like 8:04. Today, it started a little early, but it's not. There's no continuation on it yet. So we're gonna wait this out. We're gonna wait it out. I'm gonna pause the video and then come in when I'm about to take a trade. Um, I don't want to take a trade long until we're down in this area somewhere, and I don't want to take a trade short until we're up in this area somewhere. Depending on how the price got there as well, that's huge. So we'll see as price starts to develop which direction it goes and if we get any kind of buy or sell signals. Alright, so we're starting to break down into this area here. We got to change the character. So what we're looking for, we have broken and closed bottom here. This one is a little bit out of my range as far as risk. And this area might hold it. So we didn't break this bottom. We got this change of character, and I'm trying to see if this volume suffices or not. It's not great. I'd take this, but with minimal risk here. If it makes it back up, might not. Could pop all the way back up here as well. So. Yeah, the way it's acting is. Remember, we're coming back into this 25 here. Change character is holding. Not convinced yet. There we go, that's nice. Volume's okay. Not great for that. Right back into this bottom. A lot of people are going to start buying this thing up. So we have a break here. Yeah, I don't think my stop will be good enough. It needs to be over this section here. Yeah, not too convinced. Let this play out a little longer here. Alright, so we're getting a punch off of this 15-minute that we marked earlier. Remember that? Our right screen, this is the center of that 15-minute play here. Hitting inside this 50. Volume is pretty solid. We have 18 seconds left. See if this carries here. This looks like it's strong enough to carry up to this whole leg, but yeah, we're gonna see. Good volume close. I was born with it, did a tour with it. Them overseas girls always give you more digits. I've been blessed, I done went shore to shore with it. Now I'm trying to help a couple kids do more with it. Got some plaques on the wall and I'm still dope. I'm just trying to show the people that it's still hope. You buy an album and we serve up a meal, bro. The label's like, that's gonna cost you a meal, so if I was to take this, then it would be, would have been here. I just don't like my wrist reward. And the volume seems to be pretty good. Now if this volume was weaker as we came up here, not to say that it won't turn around and come down like this, but if this volume was maybe down here, maybe, you know, hitting tops of previous volume as it was coming up, then that would have been more, would have been an easier trade to take, but when you have high volume coming into an area that you're thinking about taking a trade from. And I might miss this trade, I might flush down, that's fine. But high volume like that coming into this area, it's to me not safe. So, see how it develops. It's the waiting game this morning.
Tell me what you see. I'm a skinny motherfucker like 6'3". I said fuck a weight room. I was selling CDs, getting more pussy than the whole football team. I was born in Riverside and I'm still that. Yeah, I heard your new shit and it's still whack. Every time we get together, you gon' feel that. This summer and the next, I'ma kill that.
So far, that would have been pretty solid trade, I think.
Even if I got 3 strikes, I'ma go for it.
Yeah, that's $500 trade.
We own it. And I'm not to be played with because it can get dangerous. These people I ride with. We own it.
I would like to see this one up here. That'd be nice. Erase this.
Clear glass out of Malibu with all my friends. Me, Mike Pose, the Mills, and Nikki for the win. I'm growing up, I got a buzz, call it motivation. Blowing up like iPhone, push notifications. Prices, if I had it back, I wouldn't change a thing. It's far from over, so I saw the fat lady sing. And she hitting the notes, and I'm starting to feel like I can sit and coach, cause I get fucking killed. Oh, I own it, oh, I'm on it. Cold like Winterfell, I Game of Thrones it. Hold it, did anybody notice? They all in the D now, Beantown, we own it. Shouts to the D, yo, Beantown, we roll it. Yeah, me and my G's and we own it. Yeah, Sammy. One shot, everything rides on tonight. Even if I got 3 strikes, I'ma go for it. This moment, we own it. Yeah, not to be played with because it can get dangerous. These people I ride with. This moment, we own it. One shot, everything rides on tonight. Even if I got 3 strikes, I'ma go for it. This moment, we
Alright, so our first stop was would have been okay. If you notice, it's coming down. It's taking a reaction off the 50% here of this leg.
This moment,
We would need to see top break up in this section.
Listen, I don't know if you're aware of it, but I'm doing the only total.
Now we got a volume here. Volume's breaking the down volume.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in
This
the
would have been a good small run here.
I could really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now.
yeah. I could use a dream or a genie or a wish to go back to a place much simpler than this. Cause after all the partying and smashing and crashing, and all the glitz and the glam and the fashion, and all the pandemonium and all the madness, there comes a time where you fade to the blackness. And when you staring at that
He's
phone
doing a
in your
15
lap,
retrace
you
there.
hoping, but them people never call you back. But that's just how the story unfolds. You get another hand soon after you fold. And when your plans unravel in the sand, what would you wish for if you had one chance? So airplane, sorry I'm late. I'm on my way, so don't close that gate. If I don't make that, then I switch my flight and I'll be right back at it by the end of the night.
This one was good play. This one was a good play. Volume coming into this area was okay. I'm not convinced on it, but I'm watching my 15-minute over here.
Yeah, somebody take me back to the days before this was a job, before I got paid, before it ever mattered what I had in my bank. Yeah, back when I was trying to get a tip at Subway.
I think I feel as though I'm reading this too micro, too much of a micro level.
Maybe I go back to the days before the politics that we call the rap game. And back
we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars? I can really use a wish right now, wish right now, wish right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky like shooting stars?
I'm deciding right now whether or not I'm going to take this trade into 50. So far we have a 50% hit here, and we have a 50% here, which means this is trying to climb. It's confirming that it wants to go higher. I just don't know if it's going to hit something here, this area or this 50 that's going to shove this thing down. We are coming off of the bottom. Can we make it through all of this, right? The path of least resistance is definitely down right now.
They say the holy
There you go.
watered down, and this town's lost its faith. Our colors will fade eventually, so if our time is running out, day after day,
No brick top here,
make the mundane a masterpiece.
and holding bottom.
Oh
A little consolidation morning.
love.
We'll have to pick a side eventually here.
Look at you, you're taking me out of the ordinary. I want you laying me down till we're dead and buried. On the edge of your knife, staying drunk on your vibe. The angels up in the clouds are jealous knowing we found.
See how we made higher lows here.
You got me kissing the ground, for your sanctuary. Shadow me with your touch, oh Lord, return me to dust. The angels up in the clouds are jealous.
Probably do that trade. Look at the volume. See this volume here? This volume, as far as effort to result, was horrible. See if they change it this level again. Nice 50 retrace. So we're concentrating on this area right here and this area right here. And I'm watching the volume in between those two areas to see what's happening. Usually if I do take trades in consolidation areas, like quick scalps, like tiny.
Something so out of the ordinary. How are you laying me down to a dead and buried? On the edge of your night, staying drunk on your vibe. The angels up in the clouds are jealous knowing we found something so out of the ordinary. You got me kissing the ground, sanctuary. Shadow me with your touch, oh Lord, return me to dust. The angels up in the clouds are jealous knowing we found.
We got a break. but
This is how I
we're
learn
close.
AI in 2026 if I wanted a fresh start at 50. Watch this.
Never. And I
Dum, 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 dum. We're gonna break structure here, which is good. No close though.
Found my home. She made me lead the thrills at home.
Seems like this 50's holding. Now I need to see what this is doing here.
Really think I found my home. Shorty make me feel.
If it returns back up here, this I already missed the trade down like twice, 3 times here. So And that's fine because I'm just not sure with this huge block here if this thing is just gonna shove this up. I don't want to be. I mean, I don't mind being caught in that, but I'm just being cautious of it. I'd be fine with a stop loss. If you notice down here, there's been 0 close as well. And this is a big, like we got this small close, and then we have this that just ripped it back up. So I really, well, some shows us down here that this area is ready to crack. Like you have this pull from this.
Shorty make me feel at home. She made me lead the thrills at home, and I'm fine with it. She really made me lose control. I'ma let my love unfold. We're just two lost souls, but we're fine with it. Life is not the same with your pictures in my frame. Now that you're here, I want nothing to change. You pick me up when I'm down.
Volume's pretty low and dying out of this area. I am short bias, but
You brought meaning to my life. All because of you, I do right. Because of you, I have a purpose.
I don't know.
Fight for the world because you're worth it. Really think I found my home. Shorty made me feel at home. She made me lead the thrills at home, and I'm fine with it. She really made me lose control. I'ma let my love
Just waiting.
forward. We're just two lost souls, but we're fine with it.
Mhm. This is not a confirmed break structure here. Like we got one close under here. Look how much stronger just this volume spike was here. But there's high effort, low result here. So let's see where this closes. 22 seconds.
I ain't many that are built like me. I'm the last of my kind. Grew up on the back road, baby. I know how to survive. Being down with the young guns blazing.
Play's still here, but like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna take this if it comes back. That's a 3 hit. We did make a lower area, but it's just not like we need something. It's not. I don't feel it, man. Like I just. Feel like there's trickery afoot.
Got folks that carry some shit. Can't cross state lines. Ducking cops in the third hills, baby.
15-minute chart does look like it's weakening.
If you're coming to the sticks, still maybe bring a four-wheel drive. You'll never
There's the
find
50.
another like me. I'm the last of my kind. I'm the last of my kind. I'm the last of my kind. Try to find another just like me. You'll be looking for
It's a good close. It's a strong close.
This world can be a son of a bitch. Or look through my eyes. Can't always climb to safety. Sometimes you gotta fight. Go get it if you want it. Keep the fire burning inside. You'll never find another like me. 'Cause I'm the last of my kind.
doing have to see this break in order for this leg to take shape. And even if this leg does take shape, it may not may not hold this area right here. Trading against it, it's a little dangerous. Just kind of watching the volume still. Break on the bottom. Still a big trade. Look at this. In order to get out of that. Look at instant run up. Volume instantly caught up to all of this volume down here. I'm gonna have to make a choice here. Another drop. I'm on point with the thought, but it's tricking me, man. There we go. Nice break. It's just a volume. There's no. It's like, look at. There we go. I mean, still. Maybe that's just how the morning is gonna be. So if that's the case, let's adapt to what we usually see. Take a few stabs at this. I'm gonna do lower risk, so my risk is not going to land at the same areas. Whoa, what was that? Looks like there's a technical issue with Tradevate integration at the moment. We are currently in touch. Ah. Oh, might have saved me. Oh yeah, it's completely kicked out. Alright. Like coming off the bottom there. So this is the whole move here. This would technically be, it would have to be my stop with, but we're gonna put our stop. See if it burns right through here. That's a bummer. Trader Bait's in maintenance right now. Yes, this would be, this is, it's not bad, 570, but that's where my stop would need to be. But this can also return all the way back up here, right, to this section. So that's what we trade, that's the strategy. I've actually never seen Trader Bait go down. Looks like it would have saved us a stop though. So that's cool. I'll take that. We would be getting stopped out like right here. I'm gonna pause it up, see when Trader Bait's gonna come back. So this one obviously started to work. What we do here, even though we're still on paper trading, because Trader Bait's still down, but close of this area, any kind of close past this point, we go stop break even. Drop this down one, like this. I'm gonna buy one out here, and if this closes, move this down. Looking for a close under here. As soon as that closes, we go stop break even. So we take half off here to lock in. Yeah, it's blinding. I don't like that. Break structure. Looking for this area. 41 seconds. No close yet. See if it does it. This is what we'd be doing with 2 contracts. So, but as you can see, our risk is, is much higher. So. We need this to close under before we go stop. "38 seconds. "10 seconds. Alright, hit that. There's 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3, 2, 1. There's our close. We'll stop break even here. Go to the 15-minute here. See what we got going on. We broke this previous section. This is previous day high. Let me check, make sure. Previous day low here. Yes. Get rid of that. Yep. This is previous day high here. Let's see if this is gonna start gunning for that. If not, we have a free open trade there. So we've already locked in 6 or 700, and now we're just kind of trying to see if we can get this one to run. That's the whole idea of the two contracts. But now another thing that you do. The other thing that I would do in this is I would go from my right screen over here, be looking for areas on the 15. We just broke a huge area, so and I'll mark areas that I think this area here. Mark areas that I think this price is gonna possibly come down to. Now obviously I could completely be wrong, like we can run into this section here. I definitely use a higher time frame to govern, you know, where I think price is going, but I don't skip the low time frame either. Like all of these, you know, sections here, fair value gaps and build ups and stuff can cause this thing. Like this can turn this whole thing around right now, and you'll see it try, and then sometimes it will. But through out of everything on the 1 minute that I see, this and this area actually would be the one that shoot for. So see the bounce off of this section right here. Yeah, they can change the whole thing. If we're going to continue down, unless we come up to this entire moves 50, which is always your best play, this section would have sellers turn it around, and this section here turn it around. See the little stall at that point there? Again, little stalls that are happening right where we marked it out. Look at the volume. First line of defense, second line of defense, third line of defense. Game over for short is kind of the way I look at it there. Yeah, so this 50 looks like it's reacting okay. Went over a little bit, touching into here. See if it pops up real quick and then slams down, or if it pops up and just runs through there. No, no, don't want to hear any of that. Nope. Hated that. 50's trying to give out here where we marked. Went a little bit over, but it was fun. Just basically this little shelf, I guess you can call it. There's a break in the leg here, so people are gonna try to trade off of this back down, and a lot of the buyers are selling their position in here. So this is a good area. I like this area better. Because if you read this wrong on volume, you'll get burned through, stopped out, and then it'll turn around. I'm gonna check Tradeovate real quick. Yep, still down. Might not get any live trades today, but hopefully I can still get some kind of value. And also another thing to point out is that the price will try to come back into your trend point. If you notice, if we go back to this section up here, you'll notice that this when this came up, this was its original point, and it did miss it, but it went straight into the 50% and then it flushed down, right? Which is the first trade that we were thinking about taking. And then when it came back, right, it ends up coming back into the 50 again of this move, right? But then you see the reverse side play out where buyers were coming in at the 50, they push it back up, and then this ends up coming right back into our trend line here and then pushing out. I don't trade off trend lines, I trade off of 50s and 25s and fair value gaps, but pinch points. But this is just another thing if you're unsure about whether you should take a trade at the 50 of this move or this move. I would stick closer to your trend line retest, because now you're inside of a 50, and if you have low volume coming up, like if this low volume or this volume stays just as low as it comes up, now you have low volume, so there's not a lot of power in it backing this up. It's coming into the 50 and it's hitting a trend line, right? It's following that, so you should see, this. And people do, one of the reasons it works is because people are trading the trend. They're trading off of this trend line. But I'm adding more things into it. I don't want to just trade the trend. So fix this. That way you can see my hands more. But and you see what's happening like this. There's a battle between the 50s, right? 50 here, and then there's a battle at this 50 here. You see the battle happening? 50 battle, 50 battle. So as this is happening, there's liquidity being built here and here, and so whatever side ends up winning, you definitely want to be going with the trend, right? But just the only thing is, the main thing about trading is you don't know when. You have an idea, but you don't know when it's going to turn around. You don't know when it's going to go that way, right? You have an idea that it's going to go that way, but actually figuring that out has been one of the hardest things for me. So, um, it's funny because my buddy is always telling me he's just trend lines and stuff, and I'm like, dude, because they're so subjective. Like I can, place my trend line. Like if I was following this trend here, this trend line wouldn't even be relevant. I would still be running off of this trend line, right? So, and price never made it up here. So which trend line do I follow? That's why that was very, very against the whole trend line idea. But as far as visually, it does something for you as far as staying with the trend, and that's what I use it for. Not to necessarily trade off of, but you can clearly see that this is in a downtrend, right? So I'm not going to be trading against it. And when this trend line breaks, I'm not going to be just trading up. I'm waiting for other things to happen. And I have an understanding like, hey, this trend line's broken. Now we're looking for other things. We're looking for a break of structure. We're looking for a change of character. We're looking for a fair value gap or pinch point to be formed. We're looking for high volume on the break. Like there's a bunch of different things that go into it. So it's not just one thing. So I will eventually have to apologize to my buddy. Tell him, I don't trade off the trend lines, but like, hey, bro, the trend lines are definitely helping me keep track of the trend, because that's what I use them for. So yeah, it's trying to go down here. So it looks like this 50% here won. Let's see if we get a close down. If we did close under here, I'm not saying that this won't be a play, but I was expecting this leg. I like the leg. So if this doesn't close, I'm still expecting this to hit. And that kind of patience thing is a hard thing to do. At yesterday's video, I kept moving this entry point down and up and up and down to try it, because you see these micro plays, but the big move is in the macro play. Like this leg, you can see this leg here, right? But this was not the play. This was still the play, which is the macro. It's this whole move here. And once you get to the point where you can accept the fact that you have to wait for this to happen, you'll make bigger plays. Because even if we would have done this leg, could have went off the 25 here. But say you took the trade based off of this like here, right? And then your stop needs to be here, but I guarantee the stop was gonna go here, right? And so stopped out, and then your trade ends up running the direction that you thought, which is very very irritating. So we got a close on here and a break of structure. This is where you can get caught in something, again, a micro play opposed to a macro play. So we're gonna delete this, just kind of enter our way now. So is the close sufficient or not? I would like to see something a little bit heavier to the downside. Stop that. Something heavier to the downside. Close and then come back up, and then this 50 might be an option for us trade into. And check the trade evade again. All right, I was on a phone call, so looks like this is retracing back up, and this would be Actually going to take this and see what happens here. But this is back into the 50 if you added this new area. Originally, the entry point was here. But now that this new section has been added, hopefully this whole move gives us something, a nice move down. We are kind of doing a 50-50, so this could pop up, but we are following the trend. So this is our trend here. We came into that 50%. If you notice what I was talking about as far as volume, um, the break of volume was okay, but it wasn't anything significant. So we added into that section. We're going to take one of these off down here just in case this plans on being its bottom. Move this up a little bit, center of the 25, and we'll see if this can dump down, and then we'll take another 500 or so off of this, and then this will still be what we're gunning for. So that's the plan, anyways. That's how I like to manage it. So right now we're hitting the 50, which could cause this to pump back up. And there's the pump. We're looking at volume, maximum effort, minimal, maximum result, minimal effort here as of now. Now, if this immediately starts to turn around, I'm going to move this probably down here somewhere. Because that means we're getting enough momentum, we should be able to get through and break this area. If not, if it kind of lollygags, I'll move this back up. Just in case we had a flash down, I'd like to catch that that movement. Now in this section, we can go stop break even, but I would like to see this again close under here, take some profit, and then move under, since we have a new addition to the party. So not necessarily give it a lot of room, but pretty much risking what we've made on the trade so far. Trade rate, by the way, is still down. So this is what we're doing. Right side there. Watching volume. Look how much stronger as of now the selling volume is. On this small candle, it already beat the result of this. See if it can break past the 50 or not, though.
Still growing up, I would lay in my bed and dream about what I've become. Couldn't wait to get older, couldn't wait to be some. Now that I'm here, wishing I was still young. Those good old days.
I wish somebody would've told me, babe, that someday these would be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. 'Cause someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of the good old days.
Wish I didn't think I had the answers. Wish I didn't drink all of that glass first. Wish I made it to homecoming. Got up the courage to ask her. Wish I would've gotten out of my shell. Wish I put the bottle back on that shelf. Wish I wouldn't have worried about what other people thought and felt comfortable with myself. Rooftop open and the stars above. Moment frozen, sleeping out
Testing that 50 again.
me, you, and that futon.
So if we get a nice close under this leg here, then we're in a better position. But until then, we're still testing this. Volume's starting to kick up on the buy side. It's matching its effort here. Once we break under this area, my trend line will move here. But as of right now, we stay. We stay. Miles Smith. That is a weird. I don't know. Huh. Whatever. That was very weird. Distorted. There it goes. That was weird. There's that breakdown. $33 seconds. See if we get that break under here. Mm-hmm. 7 seconds. So we get a breakdown here. Look for a break under this level and a hold. Ooh. Stop break even. Going to take off right about here. Yeah, right here was right. Come on. much easier in sim because there's no pressure of like this turning around and me not making it. So, nah. Oh my gosh. So we break through or we just bounce right off this thing. It's twice. Oh, it broke over it, but there we go. We're out of there. We took another 1,000 something off. So at this point, we are going to do, we need a solid close down here. And when we do, I will move this down into 50% profit or I'll take this trade. This is the goal down here. We're hitting a 15-minute section here. So if we blow through this, then we can maybe possibly sit on top. But still, this would be, you know, our area where we can be moving down like that. Mm. And this can go. Change character. Yeah, I don't want to see it go past this area here. Look how big this candle is, and look how small that effort is. Big result, small effort. So we'll see if this candle holds at the 50 or if this snaps right through this thing. Check Tradeovate. So it looks like Tradeovate is back. Excuse me. And still have the other one. The paper trading running. This is a Tradeovate account. Kind of sucks because this is an area where it could turn around. But if we do take the trade, we're looking for this section up here. Volume's okay here, not great. But yeah, this is, I'm not like thrilled about the close down here. I guess it's all right, but we'll see right now if we're gonna continue down, or if we're gonna take a stop through here. Watching our volume here. I'm gonna take this trade and see if it. What now? What now? NHQ. figure out what's going on here. This is a NQ NQHF rejected. Auto lick. Contact your broker. Yeah, it's wonder why that is. So I don't think it's working still. In case they try some weird stuff, which do we have a new contract? Let me check to see if we have. See if there's a new contract that I'm sure with. Missed that trade because of that. That's annoying. Yeah. Oh, don't do that. Ah, man, just not it's not liking me today. Trade would have been awesome. Doesn't look like I'm gonna get any live trading in today, so. What is this saying? Saying liquidate. Auto lick 5. Learn more, please contact your broker. Yeah, I don't know. But our trade was, as you can see, our trade was lined up really nice. Set up really well. That was a solid 600 there if I was getting out at the bottom. So just missed the trade. I think I was sitting right here over this level. So, and all it was we came into this 50 and ooh, I might have been sitting here. No, it was up here. Yeah, that's right. Still not working, so was unable to get into that trade as well. See if we got stopped out here. We did not. Right there. Look how close that was. Almost stopped us out. Look at that. It's beautiful. So close.
Press play on something new.
This isn't just combat. It's cinema.
Come with me to Starfleet Academy.
I'll help you find your mother.
The rules are simple.
What in the world? We got a break under, no close though. So we don't, this does not move down. not this. Can it react off this? Yes, but this would still be our trade. Up there. Might be a micro pull real quick, or this could change character, but as you can see the volume, even the volume coming up here, look at big volume, and then this one, small, doesn't matter. Then we have matching volume. This candle is very small, and this big candle matched this small candle as far as volume. And then you have this one, which, you know, it rose a little bit, but we still didn't get any kind of breaks up here. So it was on volume, it was a good trade. The area was a good trade. It was our 50%. We had a fair value gap from, it was here and here. Oh, it was here and here is where this was our fair value gap here. So the trade completely lined up, and we were with the trend. So just yeah, trade bait's not working. So if this trade ends up hitting, probably call it a day, go work out, and check back with it later to try to get at least one trade in. Hmm. So it did. Looks like it came up here, ran into that 50, retraced it down. Will it break this level? I don't know. We are gonna lower this down though. Try to get as much out of this as we possibly can. There we go. No close, trade would still be here. If we're gonna continue down, we should see that. This might turn it right here. If not, we'll take our money or tap. Disappointing. Tech market is disappointing. Video's going up. Why is this going down? See if this ends up breaking through here to end our trade. Getting little drops here, struggling to break through this section. This is this could be a new leg here, but Alright, we're gonna push down, see how much further it'll go here. Got a nice close under here. From this point, we are going to sit above this area, see if we get what we're looking for. Remember, this is yesterday's high, and this is yesterday's low down here. So don't want any weird pop-ups from here. We need this to, no matter what, we're gonna lock in 1,180 plus all the other whatever 1,000 something. Stops us out here, it's fine. We're gonna try to take it all the way down to that area and let it play out. Won't forgive myself. We're right there. Let's go. Probably gonna go much further than that, but this is where we're trying to exit our trade here. Come on, slam it through. Boom. Alright, pretty good calls. Fortunately, we didn't get to take this in our PA account, but didn't want to waste the training side of this. So let's go back and kind of recap what we had going on here. This is where we ended up starting, and right in this area when we first, let me erase everything. Right in this area when we first kicked it off, we knew that this was a heavy area because we were getting a pretty high bounce off. Now we never broke this area, but if we did, our bias would have probably changed to the long side, or at least up to this top section. We might have caught something in there, I don't know. But we knew that this 25 was holding, right? And we knew that this 50 was holding. So these two areas were what we were watching, and liquidity was building up on either side here. So what we did from there was we got an understanding of direction, and when we first started, the direction was completely to the upside. When we woke up and sat down, and drawing this trend here showed us that as well, that we were all to the upside. Now, we didn't necessarily want to do anything until this area was clearly giving out, right? So we had this section moving up, and then we had this section moving that way, which I had drawn, but then we started to make a sharp push down, and the whole time we were watching volume to see what was going on. Now inside here, you can see we're still following this pretty well. Inside here, we had our first section that didn't break this bottom, so we needed this bottom to break, right? But this still didn't count until we got down, and then we can kind of clearly see that we were starting to break down. So I waited a long time, and then the first trade that I think I was actually going to take was would have been a loss because I had my stop I had my stop where I needed it as far as controlling my risk, but it would have stopped me out. We would have recovered it on the other trades. But just to look at this real quick, this first push down was into this 25 here, but also this 25. Now this should have broke over top, but it didn't. This actually came up and hit this 25's area and then started to flush down, right? Now you can't take this 50% play in here. You can take the 25, but you don't want to take the 50% because this isn't broken, right? If that broke like that and it came up, then you're looking for that. So when we got the break, which was this one, now your 50% is valid. This is the first trade that I was thinking about taking here, but this one here was my second. And for a moment in here, when it went to the 50, I almost thought that we were going to push long, but I had to stay with that trend, right? So now, as that came down, we come up, this comes down, we get another break of this level. So that validates this as a 50% retrace. We retraced into the 50, and then we broke again. This one got a little bit tricky. This one came up and would absolutely make you think that we were going to go lower and cause you to take your trade at this 50 here, which is a big error. That's a patience error that you will see me actually I'll make that mistake a lot, but not today. We waited, this came up, what did we do? We ran, retraced, fell. So this ends up breaking. I don't like, as you can see, this breaks and it holds, but not great. But still, even if you follow the plan, 50% comes up in here. We're watching volume as well. You trading just off 50s will work, but you need to lower your risk. Comes up, this does not count. So whatever trade is about to happen here, this made it to the 50, but honestly I think that if you were to take this lower and this wasn't going to turn around, this is still your area that you would take this down. It can come up and blow to the top, it can come up, hit 50 like this, and then turn around and come up, or you can come up into your 50% here. It can come up to this 50, this moves 50 here and come down. It can come up to this one, which is what I would be waiting for, and then you can sharply move down. But if this volume starts to rapidly increase, then you might want to wait on taking that trade. So that's kind of like a recap of what we were looking at today. Let's see, we can call this section here would be the 25 of what's under it be the 50 of this move. I don't know if this is going to keep coming down past that point, or I have no idea, but I just am trading with the trend in the moment on the retraces with volume in my pinch points and fair value gaps. So and that's what you saw today. So I'm gonna end the day because I can't get into my PA account, but I hope that it's made a little bit of sense, and yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow, which is a Thursday. We'll see if we can catch something, or I might come back a little bit later and maybe attach, if I do trade, attach a video to this one. I don't know, so. But appreciate it, and everyone have a good trading day.